Welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies, and welcome to Lima Victor in the Sherman in arcade. I've been looking forward to hosting an arcade replay for a while, and Lima Victor has given me the opportunity. So thanks a lot. Strap yourselves in. This is going to be a while. Yeah, wash. This is going to be a wild ride. We have our junior commentator sitting on the couch behind me. That's right, I sit on the floor and she gets the couch. Say hello to Tank Toddler. Brooklyn's going to be helping me out with the commentary here, no doubt. First shots fired, and the frontal armor of the M4 Sherman in a full up tier. That is, Lima is top tier here, is quite effective. Many of your enemies are going to have around 90 to 100 millimeters of penetration on their main gun, and the Sherman's frontal plate is capable, with a little bit of angling, of dealing with those rounds, especially from a slightly elevated position, something that the 10 degrees of gun depression on the Sherman allows you to experience a good portion of the time. Panzer II comes in, and with the 50 cals he takes down the gunner after a shot into the engine with a quick reload on the Sherman's 75. Able to put another death potato into the enemy tank in short order. Freedom fries in free supply here as the Sherman gets into a position that he likes, looking down on the enemy, and yet, because this is arcade, we can see many pings on the map where enemy tanks are infiltrating the area. And quickly Lima changes target to the Panzer II DAC, lines up his shot, and just a bit of a delay there after he gets the appropriate shot, and that's something that I noticed about Lima in this one. He takes about an eighth of a second to aim a little bit more carefully after he has his shot lined up, and that is going to cost him a few shots here. His reflex is not the sharpest, even in arcade, and yet he's able to do quite well in this match even so. All of that is to say that with good positioning, if you make the correct decisions, you don't have to be the most twitch reflex player. You can see here a little bit of a delay here as he aims the shot carefully in order to do well even in the fast-paced game mode of arcade. All of that is to say, you RB players out there, don't look down on the arcade lads, and maybe think about swapping over to arcade every now and then. That's something that I've done in the past, and if I'm looking for inspiration in War Thunder, maybe that's something I'll do in the future. A shot comes in, dealing no significant damage. I think that was even a ghost round, as we see it pass completely, cleanly through the weak side armor of Lima's vehicle. I didn't notice that at first, but that round from the M8 just passed clean through Lima's tank without doing anything, so ghost rounds still a thing even in arcade. Gaijin, please dedicate yourselves to fixing that issue. That's one of the major issues of the game right now, that has nothing to do with other decisions that might be slightly annoying. We are going to see some things in arcade that are more or less a remedy to other problems you might have with the game. To wit, balancing the nations has been rather tricky, as well as balancing premium vehicles. There are event, or as the T-80 here comes in, gets a nice side shot on Lima. His massively fast reload still not enough to ensure victory, as Lima's able to conceal his weak side hull armor. But sorry, everything's happening so fast right now. You know what? I'm just gonna let you guys watch this incredible action and make your conclusions for yourselves as vehicle after vehicle pours into the gap here. Lima completely surrounded by enemies with a few allies backing him up. You can see getting a kill there on something that was flanking around behind Lima, and yet the Stuke's still there and completely unresponsive as it faces down Lima's allies and gets taken down from the side. definitely don't want to show that weak side or roof armor in the Stug. Anyway, I was going to talk some as Lima faces his toughest foe so far, the 2.7 Sherman 105. Balancing the nations can be tricky in realistic battles. There's certain advantages that one nation will have over the others that can really sway the battle in your favor. To wit, at 2.7, American teams are extremely strong with their fighter aircraft armed with 50 cals, effectively each one of them a close air support vehicle. The 2.7 Sherman 105 even stronger than the Jumbo in terms of relative armor protection, and a gun with a heat round that can punch through anything that it faces, even in a maximum up tier. We're looking at a vehicle that, well, it does have certain weaknesses in the hands of an experienced player, can sway an entire match even in small numbers, and yet it's capable as a regular Tech Tree vehicle of being spammed out in large numbers. All of that is to say, realistic battles do have some balancing issues, especially when it comes to the BRs of certain vehicles for certain nations and other things, as Lima finally gets taken down, such as what we see in higher rank Axis teams right now. Premium vehicle spam, where people have one vehicle and no lineup to back it up. And if you're on the team with the Italians, for a bit of a nod to historical accuracy right now, because of Albal spam, anybody that gets teamed up with the Italians is likely to get steamrolled by the enemy nations. All of that can be avoided to a certain extent in arcade, where the nations are mingled, every battle a mixed battle, and so there is a balance found as you get a mix of vehicles from each nation's more or less evenly distributed on either side of the battlefield, which does deal with a lot of balancing issues. So if you're getting upset about a certain nation having a much higher win rate, which they do at certain battle ratings because of various factors in the game, maybe take a vacation into arcade. It is a completely different animal. Everybody has a little bit of a stabilizer. Every one of the vehicles performs much more responsively than it does in realistic battles. The pace of battle is much higher. As well, if you're getting tired of getting taken down by close air support, as I mentioned, the USA, very strong cast, which can often choke out the enemy team just after the initial parts of the battle and keep them from being able to hold the field or hold the skies. If you don't feel like jumping into a fighter and taking down that enemy close air support yourself, again, maybe try arcade. Oddly enough, close air support not such a large factor in most arcade matches because of the various mechanic differences in arcade and the fact that you can't linger in close air support aircraft. Another thing that's not around so much in arcade is revenge bombing, because again, you can't just hop right into an aircraft as another spawn. You have to, if you get taken down by somebody, respawn and then find your opportunity to jump into an air battle, and by then the battle has often moved on. Anyway, there are a lot of differences between RB and arcade, and it's been my pleasure to feature this replay sent in by Lima Victor. He did quite well here, and I didn't really do him service as a commentator here. My little helper was pretty quiet too. Guppy, say hi. No, she's watching her show. She's distracted by Elmo. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that one, and I'm hoping to get a little bit of interest started in arcade matches, especially for you guys that are getting burned out on realistic. There's definitely a lot more to War Thunder if things start getting frustrating in a certain area. And yeah, what do you want, baby? Okay, she wants a piece of something. So I'm gonna let you guys go and go back to being a daddy. Catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Guppy, say bye bye.
Peach.
Okay, you want a peach.